Kevin Feige this very week says that he said affirmatively that they will be producing fewer shows and fewer movies because they feel like they've. It seems very obvious. It seemed obvious when they announced this giant slate of Disney Plus content a couple of years ago, but yeah, that it's diluting the brand and it's making it not special for people.
Well, no shit, and that's why I was kind of. I like James Gunn, but when he's announcing this huge slate of movies and shows, I'm like, I don't want to hear this. I want you to make one good movie, please.
Yeah, I agree. And he mentioned mutants. Somebody, the interviewer, some bought and sold fucking journalist, was like, one of the most exciting things that happened in Phase 4 was the acknowledgement of mutants. Talk about that. And he's like, did we acknowledge mutants? And they were like, oh yeah, because they said that Ms. Marvel was a mutation.
Yes.
Like, that's mutant. Like, and we played a little bit of the animated theme song during. Yeah.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes, like a mutation.
And you can tell like Kevin Feige barely remembers that. He's like, oh yeah.
It's like, did I say yes to that? Fuck.
He's like, we made a lot of TV last year. I don't remember much of it. Oh, right. We made Moon Knight. There's fucking like a talking rhino in that. I don't know. Imagine the fools that defend Moon Knight. Not naming any names.
I am not naming any names. It's very forgettable.
That's another way that people try to defend these things. Sometimes they'll assign like a genre that you like to it. You're like, this movie sucks, and they'll be like, it doesn't suck. It's like an adventure movie, like Indiana Jones. I'm like, yeah, but it's not Indiana Jones now, is it?
Yeah, it's a piece of dog shit.
It doesn't suck. It's a heist movie, like a heist movie. Yeah, but it sucks, doesn't it?
The first Ant-Man was kind of like a heist movie.
Yeah, except it wasn't really. It was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
The people are like, no, it's like a heist movie. There's been a few of those. We're like, yeah, it's a heist.
It's a heist.
Like Ocean's 11, but like Ant-Man.
Rogue One was a heist.
Yeah. It'll be like a Tom Clancy novel, but Star Wars.
Andor was a heist.
Like, yeah, except it wasn't, was it?
Andor's a heist. Well, it did have a small heist arc in it, but
no, Andor was Blade Runner through and through.
I think I've been thinking back because I don't think I was very generous to Andor. I think I'm coming around to it. It was just planted in very, very shit soil. The soil of Rings of Power and She-Hulk. It was planted right in the middle of that, so it could not flourish in that soil.
Yeah, the giant farty shadows of a big green She-Hulk.
Because it had some. I think if it wasn't called Andor too, I think if it was like, I don't know, Seeds of the Rebellion or something, I think it would have done better. Because I think there's interesting things about how the nature of rebellions, how they start, and have the oppressive bureaucracies, how they function. All that stuff's very interesting. I just
think it's so far away from what Star Wars even is.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying it's not.
Just make an HBO show, and whatever. Like, and you don't have to make it like for fuck's sake. Maybe like, is Disney Plus in the least bit interested in making some original content? Like maybe like a cool mini series that has nothing to do with any of their properties. Like we already bought the service. Maybe we'll check it out.
But it's pretty unfortunate because it definitely wasn't shovelware.
No.
In a whole, catalog of shovelware, it was pretty good, and it's kind of it wasn't very treated very well.
And a lot of the scenes were shot on location. Like you could tell that they were either in large sets or they were actually like in Iceland or wherever the hell they were. Or that was cool. But I would every time like something Star Warsy would happen, like TIE fighters would fly over. I was like, oh right, this is Star Wars. I forgot. Because it has nothing to do with George Lucas's Star Wars. Nothing to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it was pretty cool.
It was very well made. Somebody definitely cared to make that movie. there was a movie. What the hell is that movie called? Alan Rickman, the lovely Alan Rickman. It's he directed a Scottish movie. What the fuck is it called? You're going like, what's this got to do with Star Wars? I went on like a kick on when Netflix was DVD based.
Right.
Of like all things Alan Rickman, because I was just like kind of in love with the guy, and I uncovered some very strange British movies. Like there's this one where he's in with Clive Owen, where Clive Owen's fucking his biological sister, and Alan Rickman's married to her. I talk about it on Boxmack a little bit, but he directed this movie, The Winter Guest, and it is this gorgeously shot, and it's about like these Scottish kids, and it's like during the winter time, and it is just beautiful, and it just puts you right to sleep. Alan Rickman tucks you into bed, tells you a lullaby.
Is that what Andor does the first 3 episodes?
Yeah, like it's fucking boring, and some of it looks beautiful, but some of it is like, can we get it going here a little bit?
And just sleep through it like Bill Murray's scene in Ant-Man the Wasp.
Lay your head down. I'm going to tuck you in and tell you a bedtime story.
Oh, I did see that was that Banshees of Inisherin or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, the Irish movie. You like it?
Yeah, it was good. It's kind of like it reminds me of like a play. It's like, because it's like very few locations. It's on a Irish island. It has Colin Farrell. It's a cute premise. Like there's these 2 friends basically, and one day, I think Brendan Gleeson is the other guy. He like tells Colin Farrell, like, I don't want to be your friend anymore, and this like confuses and Colin Farrell, because he's kind of like a simple guy, and so he just like keeps bothering this dude. He's like, why aren't you my friend? And then he's like, if you keep bothering me, I'm gonna like cut my fingers off and like throw them at your house. And then he like does, and like it's kind of absurd. It's like a play, and they're very dialogue focused, very character focused. It's fun. I'm not sure if it's like super like Oscar worthy, but it's a fun time, especially if you have been watching all these Marvel movies and such, and you want a respite from that, and you just want to see normal people talk and have relationships.
Somebody once, like a Cinemassacre Truth guy or something, who listened to some of our shows, he was like, yeah, I like it when they talk about AVGN, or I also like it when they talk about themselves or about like their families and stuff. I don't want to listen to any of their normie core shit like Marvel and Disney. Like, oh, normie core. Well, hey, it's popular culture, man. What can I say? It tells you something about the culture at large, and that's kind of more what we're interested in talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that happens with all these release schedules and all these releases and everything that you're supposed to watch and the rate of release, I'd be really interested to see if anybody's keeping data on the number of hours of released Hollywood content per year for the last 50 years, and just see it like, you just can never. It used to be like somewhat plausible that you could sort of keep up with releases, and now like they're just tucking them into every streaming service every week, and so sometimes one of the unfortunate things that happens, I think, on this show is we kind of react not to the content itself, but to like the kind of FOMO-ish obligation of like, oh, I didn't see the thing, or you're going to make me watch that. It's likely that that's bad, and I don't want to have to try, that is what happened to me with The Last of Us. I was like, you're not going to make me watch another Walking Dead, are you? Well, this one's very well made. Well made. That's something I have stuck in my craw as well. It's something well made and well shot. I hear that for many, many, many years. People will go, well, it's very well shot. And I'm always like, what does that mean? Like, I mean, yes, some movies are better shot than others, but it like well shot ought to mean that the visuals supported the story. Not like, oh, like the mountains were
pretty.
Yeah, this is kind of an
their lensing was very good.
It should mean things like The Northman, I think, was extremely well shot.
Oh yeah,
right, because it was like it was a visual feast, and the shots were all designed. It was nobody showed up and winged it, and they were designed. You know what I mean? Like nobody was like, let's start with some pickups of Alex, and during the Vikings rape and pillage of this village.
Yeah.
Everything was just really like story driven. Man, what a movie that was.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.